They are.
So.
That's perfect.
Hey,
timing.
everybody.
Hey yo!
Holy shit.
So as Soko said, he might be a minute, so best to start without him anyway.
My mom got stuck in the sink.
My mom's stuck in the central vac.
Fuck. Welcome to Dungeon Discourse.
Hello.
A show we've not done for like
A month?
6 months.
6 months.
No, I mean we did the special, right?
Yeah, we
Has it
did.
been that
actually.
long?
It's true.
Yeah, we did.
It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while.
been a
But it's a
while.
proper episode.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna bring Dungeon Discourse back every first Saturday of the month. This time, this channel, I'll have a handful of my players, maybe all of them, maybe some of them, depends on who's available really, to just talk about the behind the scenes and talk about, like, recap the previous month of Dungeon Select for those that maybe missed something, blah blah blah. And just, you know, if my players have any questions about certain things that were like, yo, how could that have gone if we would have done this and this, or, you know, whatever, or you, the viewer, have questions about the campaign or D&D in general, we'll try and chime in and all that.
Hell yeah.
So we're currently kind of waiting for Soko. So do we have anyone have any announcement type things to say before we get started, or?
Fucking
I still
How do
missed
you
a spot
roll dice?
shaving and I'm mad about it.
What?
nice.
Still missed a spot shaving and I'm mad about it.
Man, tough, bro.
Twinged my
And
back
it's
at
not
work.
this. This is, I didn't miss this spot. Alright, just so we're clear.
Yeah. I don't know where I keep on missing this bit.
You have like a super obvious like gap between your fucking.
It's not okay.
Stash.
Real talk.
Uh-huh.
In like real life, it's not that obvious, but the hairs in the middle are like translucent, practically. Like they're really like clear. It's not as bad as you might think. I like listen. Shitty mustaches are cool right now. Okay, Baby No Money is rocking that big gap. Shitty, he's cool. Therefore, I'm cool. Simple as that.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Sure.
Sure.
Soko, you get your mom out the sink, dude.
That was a wonderful segue.
Out of the sink and into the
You're
central vat.
muted, by the way, Soko. Soko,
He is muted.
you're muted. You really are muted.
Great. Love it.
That's one ticket.
Quinn,
That's what
I
they
got
say in
stuck in the
Soko's house.
sink. Get me out.
No. Quinn! What's up, mama? I'm in the central bank again. You like the vent in the wall.
That's what you get.
Come, mama.
I'm so glad
grabs a plunger.
Oh,
So fucking glad Soko sick 'cause it means I don't get fucking.
Soko, it's okay, man. It's funny. Haha, just laugh, smile. We bully Koiba all the time. Today's your turn.
Today is my turn.
Oh, no,
Okay.
Soko's about to fucking snap, boys. He's like, today.
Excuse me.
I mean, am I wrong though?
Today's gonna be
Toss
the day.
me already.
Toss me. Alright,
Tell the elf.
anyway, now that Soko's here, we can do a
Bully.
little, I guess, bully, but also do a little recap. You know, the last month of Dungeon Select. We've had some interesting stuff happen. You killed a couple of cultists. You've gained a new ally. Lost an ally. Traveled to a place that none of you have ever traveled to before. Yeah, it's a pretty solid month, really. Pretty solid month.
And
Well-
the return of Johnny.
And the return of Johnny. Cam, your bell is out of sync again? Okay. Bell, your camera's out of sync again? So, 4 weeks ago, you traveled to the Valen Forest to finally help Trim with her mission that she came to you with all those, like, for us months ago, but in-game, like, weeks ago, asking the Heroes of Exile for help. Quinn, unfortunately, had to stay behind, had some personal business to deal with. Yeah, he had to dip out.
He had to get his mom out of the central vac.
And you left,
Why did I show up for this?
bringing Elevantir with you to the Valen Forest. Arriving there, first having to take down an orc encampment a little too close to the border, that was being led by an Oni, an ogre infused with magic that
Oni-chan.
completely shape-shifted him into a being that was no longer really to be considered an ogre. Unfortunately, the Oni got away, but you did successfully dismantle the camp with the help of some druidic scouts that were keeping an eye on the place for the Valen Forest. And they, in exchange for your service to the province, allowed you access into past their borders, really. Nice. You then traveled to, and now I need to make sure that I got my fucking map right, because if I fuck up here, what good's the fucking recap? Traveled to Camp Tahanu, one of the 4 camps that makes up the druidic populace of the Valen Forest. Each camp having an elder, and there in the capital city of Miller and Lona is a council of elders that answer to the Empress and her Lord Regent. And that's kind of how the governmenting in the Valen Forest goes. Stayed in Camp Tahanu for the night. Met the elder of the camp, a wise furbolg donning a very interesting looking staff. Some of you recognize the staff, some of you didn't. And then traveled southward to Trim's old hut. Chilled out there for a little bit. Met up with some of her, animals that she took care of while she lived there. And eventually made your way to Camp Tarahe, which is the camp where Trim was raised, essentially. And met up with Trim's parents. And after some talking, took Trim's parents on this mission with you. And traveled to a corrupted part of the forest where supposedly a cultist would be and doing a bunch of evil stuff. That's really all you had. Oh, that's really all you had going. Was like, oh, there's a cultist there. Needs to do some fucked up shit. Let's go. So,
Right?
yeah, you went there and you found a fortress made in the corrupted husk of what once was a tree of life, completely hollowed out. And found out that the cultist there was Raisin's wife. Raisin being someone you haven't really encountered since the beginning of the campaign, but he was the one that killed your ally Ashtaranu. And you fought the copper cultist, and before she perished, she had a trick up her sleeve and transported herself and Nicole to Raisin in the demiplane of Dread, where Raisin extended an invitation to Nicole and the entire party to come back to where it all began, being Port Sarim, to finish this feud so that they can go on their merry way and keep doing evil cult stuff. So you did. You traveled back, gathered all your allies, one of which, for the party at least, seemingly human-looking bard Matthias. If I'm not mistaken, human, right? Matthias is human?
Aye.
And took him along on the journey, thinking he could be useful in a couple of ways. And you also learned that there may be a betrayer among the Archmages. Tiburon thinking it's probably Archmage Brassbent because of his behavior lately. You traveled south to Port Sarim, and there found that the entire town was engulfed in just a wall of necrotic energy. Anyone who tried to walk through the wall would come out as a skeleton immediately. Just all the flesh decayed from the bones, just dead right then and there. With some help of Nicole's cousin, Pricknell, you managed to dismantle part of the shroud long enough for you guys to squeeze in and infiltrate the town. And in doing so, you snuck around the town, eventually finding the source of this necrotic shroud. And Rokul going in there on his own to try and dismantle it or place the explosive, and then being forced to jump off the building or perish in the explosion, and
Yeah, nice one, Koiba.
yet to be seen since.
He's not dead.
We'll find out tomorrow, probably.
Or we won't.
And that's the last you've seen of Rokul. Then, as you were traveling towards Rayson's mansion, an old friend in the form of an adult white dragon, Frostclaw, the dragon that accompanied Thoran, or as you guys know him, Rix, in the Lonely Peak in Thermagar. I believe it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there you didn't manage to kill it. He got away, and he was at Port Sarim, not alone. Close to his death, he called in the aid from another dragon, a far bigger one, more ancient, who came crashing down and didn't really partake in the fight too much. Gave it one acid breath as he entered the scene, and after that, just watched with a grin on his face. And then when he saw Frostclaw perish, he said, "Next time we meet, we'll fight," and flew off.
That's our first, like, ancient dragon encounter.
And he also mentioned his master. That is your first ancient dragon encounter. That was an ancient black dragon. It's the reason I didn't make you fight him, because you would all be dead.
Yeah.
You would all be dead. But I kind of use him as a little bit of like a, just to scare you guys a little bit.
Well, you succeeded,
Yeah.
bastard.
I was just like, oh, well, unless Chromatis comes
The black dragon being called Gogas the Eternal.
Go gas.
Goghas.
Right. I should start taking notes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You then traveled to Rayson's mansion,
You come to that realization eventually.
encountering some traps along the way. And the mansion was abandoned. But you found out through a hidden ledger that
Yeah, it
They
was a
took-
fucking Shaolin trap dungeon in there, though.
it really was. There were a lot of traps, and if you would have explored the place further, there would have been a lot more traps. You figured out that they took control of the keep at the docks, and through a quick trip through the sewers after liberating the market square area of the town, meeting an old friend in the form of a 9-year-old boy, Johnny. Making sure that all the prisoners would be escorted to safety, and Johnny would be taken care of by Actanis, her parents, when they reach Telsier.
I'm hearing fireworks now as well, by the way.
Nice. You travel through the sewers after encountering the dead tiefling shopkeeper and innkeeper, both dead on the floor in the inn, unfortunately. You travel through the sewers to get to a well close to the keep. And when you got to the keep, the cultists kind of left you alone. And Rayson invited you to come down to the room where basically, it's like a large training room, like a sparring area where soldiers would go to train when they're not on duty, essentially.
A dojo.
Kind of. Yeah. And then there was Rayson, donning the white dragon mask. There was his wife, Dionora, wearing the copper dragon mask. And there was a third cultist, Miren.
Joe.
I don't think we ever found out his name yet.
You have now.
Yeah,
It was mentioned, but
it was
like
mentioned, and I wrote it down.
we didn't. I don't think
Yeah.
we knew.
I didn't write that down.
Miren, the cultist wearing the blue dragon mask. Uleth's brother. Uleth being a cultist you've dealt with a while ago. Epic battle followed, and it ended with Dionora and Rayson both perishing, and Naran cutting the heads off to prevent any form of resurrection. And then all Matthias did was just cyberbully the fuck out of Miren,
Yeah, that fucking body
making him
shit, bro.
making him useless the entire fight.
Picked on that
Yeah.
poor bard, dude.
Yo, fuck
And
that
eventually, that worked out for
Fucking
you
cheap
because you took him captive. He is now your prisoner to do with as you guys want, as you guys please. So
And you weren't planning for us to be able to do that, were you?
absolutely not. It just like it came to me in like a spur of the moment. Like Pricknell likes knowledge, so he probably, since he's already incapacitated, wants you to capture him instead of kill him because they don't know shit about any of the other cultists. You know.
I'm just waiting for Thorin to come back.
Oh, Discord had a little hiccup.
Yeah, that was weird.
And then you went back to the market square. The prisoner's still there because the fight didn't take super long. And that's where we ended it, and that's where we're gonna pick it up tomorrow. I think that was a pretty solid like recap, right? Of, like the past month of D&D. I think I hit all the important bits.
Crab's still alive.
Just no.
Your crab is now part of you.
What's the deal with this crab?
They went to the Nine Hells.
Nine Hells.
And there was a portal in the house, and like half the party randomly decided to go through the portal, and the other half didn't. So the party got split, and the portal went to a place where there were crabs, like on the beach. And Hanzo's character used communication through animals, or animal messenger,
Send a crab.
to send the crab back through the portal to whoever finds him there, to make sure that the rest of the party knows where they are, kind of thing. And Narank was like, and at that time, you know, Crab Rave was a big meme. So the crab just
So
like
I just picked up the crab, put it on my hat.
yeah,
and,
put it on his hat, and now ever since Narank did that, the crab's just on the hat, dude, just chilling.
Duke's a big fan.
Carlos the crab.
Well, okay, so yeah, I mean, I haven't watched Dungeon Select since I left, pretty much.
Wow. The
Yeah,
arrogance.
That's
terrible
my,
now I'm not.
and that's something that I want to talk
yeah,
about.
makes note.
I would
is-
say it worked in my favor, so because now I know as much as Matthias does. You know?
Fair.
That's what it is.
You obviously you played Lausanne in the beginning of the campaign,
Mm.
and then you left,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're back, and D&D is a
Almost a year
lot
later.
a lot bigger to you than it was then.
Yeah.
What changed?
I don't know, man. So when I left Dungeon Select, we still had Keldalar going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
I really enjoyed Keldalar a lot. Character was better. Character was more fun to play. Big up Dolgrim,
There you
Agro,
go.
champion of the arena. By the
Could
way.
have brought him back for this campaign, but you
Could have
decided
brought him
to
back, but I was like,
someone else.
I don't know. So I don't know, man. Lausanne sucked, bro. Like big time. Just kind of sucked.
Rangers are
Ranger
tough, especially when you
is
think
a
of, like,
shit class, bro. Like it gets so
And then
repetitive
being
so
a
quick.
drow as well, like another very hard to play race in general.
It was
Yeah.
just
I
shitty.
think
Like
kind of makes it tough.
I don't know. And like I guess could have made a different character and come in like that, but then it was the time thing as well. Like with Keldalar and I had more than enough D&D at the time, and I was
Mhm.
like, yeah, maybe I could do without one of them. Plus, not to mention, I was still like in college and stuff. It was kind of wild.
That's true.
But then we stopped playing Keldalar, so I had no D&D, and I was like, I could go for D&D right now. You know, like D&D's fun. We stopped GTA RP as well, so like
You don't even have
I'm
that
not doing any like fun character role playing at all, which is, so I don't know, it's something I love to do. And then yeah, when I came up with Gen, as no one knows his name is yet. I don't know, that was a weird process. I can't even remember how it started. I knew I wanted to play a bard because I knew that was like one of the first things that I said, because you were like, yo, maybe you could come back and play Dolgrim for a few sessions. I was like, I don't know, man. Like if I was to come back, I'd probably like want to play a bard or something.
And,
And then-
and my bard really fits you because like the quick-witted, you know, like
Yeah, I
the,
mean-
the banter,
Yeah,
it
Duke's very
really
musically
fits.
talented as well.
That too.
Well, guy, you flatter me, guys.
Oh,
Um,
shit. That is-
But like I wanted it to be a good character, and I wanted it to be an interesting character, and I wanted it to be challenging and something that I could get invested in. You know, which like Dolgrim wasn't exactly challenging, right? But I think I did a good job.
Dolgrim was a great character. Maybe a
So
little,
fucking great. I mean,
maybe a
when
little
you
like
dabbed as a bonus action.
shallow. Like there wasn't much. There was a little backstory
Yeah.
there, but that wasn't much to go like really
Yeah.
deep in.
But it was more like he didn't have much depth, but what was on the surface was pretty good and pretty fun.
Yeah.
And our fights was just a good time. But when I was making a bard, dude, I didn't expect bard to be like this fucking full spellcaster or
Yeah.
whatever the term is. Holy shit, man! Like I know nothing about D&D spells, and I went through the 2 campaigns that I played in, playing the most martial classes that literally just like roll dice. Hit. Like, let's be real. What was it? Champion fighter is literally roll dice hit. There's no. I mean, what's the
Ranger has a little bit, but
not really.
it's like
though,
Hunter's
let's be
Mark
real.
and Hail of Thorns.
Yeah, so it was like
Yeah.
Hunter's Mark, roll dice, miss. That was my entire time as Lozan. Like, Dolgrim was lit, but I haven't, I think, played a character with such good stats, bro. Like, the gloves aside, which are hella OP, I rolled an 18.
It's an artifact of the
charisma.
Sun Ring, you know. They're supposed to be a little.
Yeah, like he's good at what he does. His spellcasting modifier is +6 or something.
Yeah,
It's
you rolled.
pretty nuts.
That's like you rolled stats, and all your stats are very like normal,
middling.
like an 11 here, a 13 there, and then you rolled an 18 for one stat, and I was like, yeah, well, that's gonna be a charisma, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's gonna be his
And-
strength. What do you mean?
Can you imagine muscle bard?
I mean, there are. If you do College of Valor, that's like the sword.
Yeah, like the sword fighter bard.
Barbarian.
Barbarian?
Yeah, man, you multiclass.
Just
yeah.
aggressively drums. Wow.
I'm
Foraging.
super proud. I'm super proud of the character. I'll be honest. It took some work. It took some big brain.
Yeah, and
And
we
it's-
like we got in Discord about your backstory, and we like bounce stuff off of each other, and you're like, yeah. You came up with like, oh, this, and I was like, yeah, I have a place in the world where that could kind of work, and it's also a place where no one has been to before. So if we need to adjust some minor things about said place to fit your backstory better, we can do that because it's not canon yet, right?
And no one's figured out he's a changeling because of the 20 on deception, which is like the perfect fucking moment. Like,
Yeah. Like, and they
I want
haven't really seen you change form properly yet because you covered it up. Like, you know,
yeah.
when you noticed
I mean,
you started changing
so-
forms, you covered it up, and ever since then you haven't taken off the cover.
if Feiduin ever shows his face again, he definitely has some apologies to make because that was very out of character of him. You know, he's fucking dead. But we'll figure that out. I don't know, man. I'm excited to explore the personalities of the character. I still don't have an origin for the tiefling form, but we'll figure that out.
Yeah, because that's the thing, is like, you made a changeling, and they come with just 4 personas. So
Well,
instead of
as many as you want.
yeah,
I'd
yeah, but
assume.
you decided on 4. There's like 4 personas, and
Yeah.
you made it so that each persona you have is a person that you've met and had an impact on your life, like
Yeah,
you know, growing up or a year later,
Someone
later
mentioned-
years. But
I think it was you, Dutch, said like a tiefling tavern keep or promoter or
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
that
got
was
him his first
Gypsy.
gig,
That
I
was
think.
Gypsy in chat, and then I was like,
yeah,
yeah,
I think that's might be solid. 'Cause
like the person who booked you for your first gig or something, like something that was impactful to you. But you do that in such a way where not only do you choose to be a little less good at combat, less effective in combat, because you are like, this persona is this type of character, so only uses these
Yeah.
types of spells. So if you're going to be healing, you're gonna have to shapeshift to your healer persona first before you do that, which I think is very cool. It really committing to the roleplay aspect of your character, and if that means that you're a little less effective in combat because you have to waste a turn occasionally to change forms, so be it, you know.
I want
think it's crazy how
to.
intricate it is with how little we know.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
intricate. It's
yeah.
very intricate.
I mean, it's not crazy, and like there's obviously I'm pretty sure the high elf and the in combat like the high elf and the human are the ones that are gonna be used most because the high elf has all the healing, and the human has like just the basic bard stuff for the most part, nothing crazy. Although that said, I think if I don't say essentially in the story, like all 4 personas are a member of the Bard's College themselves as individuals. And I think it would make sense that each of them would be able to use the certain Bard abilities that there are.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because dividing shit like cutting words up is like hugely detrimental.
Yeah, no, but it makes sense because you made it so that you went to the college essentially 4 times, one with each persona. That's why each persona plays a different instrument. So for all those personas to have access to the basic bardic abilities makes perfect sense because they all went to the college, right?
But then Matthias is a little, I don't know, thin on his feet.
But Matthias is the charmer, you know. He's the face.
Yeah.
He's the face. You know,
but
that's
I'm trying
like,
to think like the
roleplay-wise,
tiefling isn't hugely useful. Well, actually, no, I take that back. We haven't really fought a large number of enemies yet, and I think that's when he's going to come in handy because he knows stuff like hypnotic pattern and maybe enthrall as well. I can't remember.
I think so.
But stuff that could come in useful. He also has bestow curse, and I have no idea when that's going to be useful at all because it's a touch
Just
ability.
use it to fuck with someone.
Oh yeah, but it's like, you know, like I said. I mean, the other thing is
that's a very like good spell to use during roleplay parts where you're just like, you know, someone's fucking with you and you just pat him on the shoulder and you're like, yeah, fuck you, cunt.
You're fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Bestow curse.
Bestow curse, yeah. It's I don't know. Also, Brutus is no use in combat whatsoever. Like, the guy knows like tiny hut and hallucinatory terrain. It's
What do you mean?
He
Those are,
bangs
like,
the drum.
Best combat spells.
And then he bangs your mom. Really.
Just summon a tiny hut to fall on the big bad and win. Easy.
Yeah, but it takes a minute to summon tiny hut. Like 60 seconds, bro. I can't still. It's kind of wild to fathom. Like, 1 round of D&D is 6 seconds, and you like try and picture that. What happens in a round elapsing over the course of 6 seconds is kind of insane.
Everyone's a fucking god.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty much.
the way to look at it is like
Everything happens at the same time.
That's kind of the thing.
Yeah.
Like, there is an initiative order, but in reality, all those turns happen in the same 6 seconds. So while Makul runs up and mashes him on the head, you're in the back casting, cutting words or whatever. It all happens simultaneously. But,
It's
you know,
nuts.
like, that's how it works, really. That's why a round is only 6 seconds, but it takes so long to get through them, especially in big fights, is because having everybody yell, "I'm doing this!" like, at the same time, which wouldn't work, right?
That'd be great. And they should always do it like that.
Even with like the time that a round actually elapses, it's hard to get cutting words in because we move through that shit so quick. It's like you need cutting words. You can't really announce that you're using it after you know whether the roll has succeeded or failed. You have to like
I need to get
see
into,
that roll.
I need to get into the habit of waiting a few seconds to allow you to.
Because the same goes for inspiration dice as well. If someone makes a roll and they don't like it, then they have to choose whether they add inspiration dice.
Wait, Sassy Simmers just followed your channel. Hold on a minute, Sassy. Can we
So, is there something we need to talk about?
We need to talk about something, Sassy? Are we good?
I made a mistake.
Made a mistake.
Anton did that same thing, and he's one of my oldest followers, and now his follow age is ruined.
I did that with Dutch once for a meme too. I was like, bro, I'm gonna unfollow you
same.
before. Like, it was some like goal, some follower goal that Dutch.
Yeah. I was like about to hit 800 or some shit, and you were like, haha, lol, because you're 12.
Yeah, now it's just like, yeah. Feels bad.
But yeah,
But yeah, okay. Next session, I think there's gonna be some explaining to do.
next session is gonna be very interesting. because I've kind of looked at the options, right? And as far as I'm concerned, there's like 3 or 4 ways you could approach having that prisoner, you know? We'll see what you guys decide on doing. And then after that, I've kind of looked at like, okay, what could be like potential next story things for them to follow after?
Airship pirates.
Are they gonna travel, or are they gonna want to do some backstory? Does the Rock finally want to go to the Feywild? Does Abraham want to do some backstory stuff? Or are they just gonna try and figure out who is this betrayer in the Archmages? Or are they gonna... There's so many things where you can decide to do.
Fucking brass
And
band,
I've
dude.
like...
Airship pirates.
I've like... Fuck off. I've like prepared the beginning like bit of each of those routes just so that I'm prepared for whatever you decide on doing next tomorrow.
I mean,
But it's gonna
next
be...
session is it's if it's some R&R, you know, then you figure out which decision we're gonna make, and then you get all the
Yeah,
time
and then
to
I
what to
can
prepare anyway.
then I can delve
Yeah.
deeper into that. I've also prepared some
I-
like side
I'll have to
quests
cover
and
everything.
seasonal events that are coming up soon. Because right now, for those interested, you're currently in like the tail end of the month that is like equivalent to May in our. So it's like, you know,
Coming
it's
up to summertime.
it's
Yo, we're gonna have
bringing-
the
it's
we're gonna have the
bringing-
summer camp
coming up to
episode.
summertime. So I've prepared some like. I prepared some like, you know, like a yearly event that is like celebrated throughout the entire empire. That's coming up in
D&D
like 2 weeks, where
Level
you guys
Select movie summer
could
camp
choose
special.
to also partake in. There's a lot of cool stuff that I've been working on. I
Business
prepared
channel.
what I've done is just I made a list of all the provinces, and I'm like, okay, for each province, I'm gonna just make up 5 big side quests and just plop them randomly in those provinces, so that wherever you go, there's always some shit for you to do, even if there's no main story stuff to,
let's go
to
some
chase
Some
after.
contracts on the bounty board.
Deadass, and like town criers, they're like ringing a bell, like oh, calling stuff that is on the bounty
Goblin
boards.
genocide time.
So I've worked a lot on, because I've been, as a DM, I feel really like when I play a lot of NPCs, I don't want to have them give too much input to you, because I want you guys to decide what you do. So lately I've been feeling like I've been railroading you a little bit, and I don't want that. So I'm going to completely like let go of any NPCs that are traveling with you. They're all going to stay behind, and you guys are going to go where you guys are going to go. And there's shit
Back
ready.
to the nightmare plane.
And there's shit ready for you wherever you're going, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or like in the places where it would be logical for you to go.
We could go sell Aberrant again and get actual gold this time.
Yes.
We have those portals.
Nice,
Just
dude.
became,
Do you have those
become a
portals?
fucking business, like fraudulent business of.
That's something I do want to
Selling
talk about.
Aberrant over and over
I
again.
got like so internally mad last session when the captain of the guard was like, "Yeah, if only we had a means of instant transportation." And
be
none
fair,
of you,
Belle didn't
and
know
none of
she
you
had
were,
it.
none of you were like,
I didn't know.
"Go
I
Pokeball,
wasn't
mate."
there. I was
I didn't know.
Like I got so mad. I was like, you know.
Shame
know
on
I
you
had
guys.
it.
in the tavern, so I couldn't say anything. I remember
They
it. I
were.
was waiting
They
for her
are
to say it.
personal use portals for when you're about to die, not just help some people go to a city. Alright, fuck it.
That's what you think when Ectonus is like, actually, I don't need you to take Johnny. I'm gonna take him right now. I have a portal in
Just
my
gonna
pocket.
kidnap a child.
True.
Yeah.
True.
She's gonna forget tomorrow, though. She's not gonna remember she has that portal.
I have it written down.
I was gonna say they're on the
I have
sheets
it written
now,
down.
right?
I have a list in like my D&D notebook
mean,
that
it's
has
why
just a
now,
list
right-
of everything I want to do next
But
week.
yeah,
I do it
so-
every time.
Now written down, but the hat disguise, they like actually fucking own it instead of just
Then
like
we have like
trying
one
to
more month till
remember.
the guild hall's like fully done too, right?
Only a couple.
Imagine
couple
needing
weeks.
a hat of disguise, chat. Pepe laugh.
So yeah, I've worked
Imagine
on.
not being a changeling.
So like I've worked on Narok backstory this past couple of weeks. I've worked on Abran backstory because I know both of them are like low key pushing to try and get some stuff done. And then I've worked on some main story stuff that you could chase after if you wanted to. But if you want to take a break from the main story stuff and do something else, you can.
I mean, Gypsy's been going on about wanting to get into his backstory, right?
Yeah. But
maybe
so
we'll do
like
that.
everything has been, you know, prepared a little bit, and then tomorrow when I figure out where you actually are going to go, then I can just fully like in depth that shit out. It's gonna be good.
I
It's gonna be
think
good.
I don't even know, man. Matthias was not prepared to fight a dragon. He's
And then
gonna have
two
he's gonna
appear.
have some interesting
Yeah,
issues.
2 dragons, not even just one. 2 dragon.
Man, that was such a cool fight.
Ew.
That 2 dragon fight.
He was
How
already partial
close?
to a bit of the fire wine.
How close
like,
were
on the
you to
fence about
summoning
coming anyways, and then
Chromatus?
she's-
How
dragons.
close was I to Chromatus?
Yeah.
Legitimately,
Borderline.
if I had gone next in the turn order after the dragon, would have done it.
It's nuts.
But because it's 3 and I was 5 HP, 3 people down. I was just like, I didn't. This thing is because I knew Frostclaw also went before me, and I was just like, I've got to do it, right? I was like, if that was the turn order, but because he went before me, I was just like, if these people don't get up and I'm not down, we're doing it. But everyone got up.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
quite a recovery,
Don't
to
you
be
mean after
fair.
you?
Yeah,
That was quite a
you
recovery.
guys played that real well, getting everybody
then,
up
then the
again.
black dragon went after me, so I was in between the 2 dragons. I was like,
That's right.
my issue was right between the 2 dragons. So I was like, if I'm gonna do a big play, I've got to like do it next turn. And the cool
I'm
thing
just,
about
like-
doing it was I needed myself to be low, and also I needed like at least more than one person to be down for
Fair.
like the cool.
I mean, Nicole almost killed me in the second fight. I was at
Yeah,
one
that
health.
was wild.
You
You have
were-
one health, right?
One
He
health.
had
If he had
one
rolled
HP.
one better on
One
any of his
better.
dice, he would have killed me.
That's crazy,
Or
yeah.
at least knocked me out.
Yeah, that kind of madness, bro. Has
Oh, actually, that's a question.
It's a nutty spell, dude.
That's a question I had for Dutch. Would you, if I had knocked out Naronk,
Would he kill me?
yeah, would Rayson have let Nicole decide like to kill? Or would
he would have
Rayson
he would have ordered you to kill him.
would have ordered me
He
to-
would have
okay.
ordered you to finish the job. Yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
100%.
I thought that probably would be the case. But I was like, shit, like
If you would have,
I
if
had-
any of the party would have gone unconscious and you were still under his control, he would have 100% told you finish it off.
I see throughout that
I love being
fight.
close to death every
I,
fight.
I was really wanted. What did I use on the bard the first time around? Hideous laughter.
Hideous laughter,
laughter.
and he just cackled for like 3 rounds
For, like,
straight on
2
the
or 3
floor.
rounds.
Yeah.
was
And
great.
then
And then
he
you
got
pinned
out
him
of
under a
it,
fucking
and you
hand.
fucking Big B's handed him like.
Yeah. So
bones.
the first round that I big beast handed him, I could have squeezed him, but
You could have, yeah.
I thought it was a bonus action, but it's not.
No, it's
Yeah.
it
No,
is
it would've
okay. The
been.
way
It would've
like.
been.
No. You summon the hand, and then the first action is free. So you summon him, and he can do something. And on
Yeah.
subsequent turns, that's when having the hand do something
Yeah,
becomes
yeah,
a
yeah.
bonus
So
action.
Yeah, I
so
think
I
you
wouldn't have been able
grappled
to make
in
him
the
squeeze him
first
because
turn
I summoned it and grabbed him. Yeah.
Yeah, you grappled him. Yeah.
So so with the hideous laughter, it was working so well.
Yeah. You failed every save, bro. Like.
Yeah, and it's concentration,
Mm-hmm.
and like I wanted to shapeshift and try and heal Naronk,
But you
but
would have,
it
yeah.
would have broken the concentration, which
Which is fine. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
so I didn't.
Yeah.
I think
Does
Well,
shape-
so, okay,
Does shapeshifting break concentration?
Because like keeping
In
that
my-
bard out
yeah,
of the
it-
fight is huge.
yes.
Like
Oh, because you don't want that character to have control on that spell.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. Sure.
I was gonna say so who used Rayson used the crown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crown of Madness.
What was his? It was a wisdom or constitution for his concentration.
Wisdom. Fuck it, Constitution.
Concentration?
Yeah.
No, concentration is
No,
constitution.
for Rayson's concentration.
That's it's just a constitution save.
And
Or
what was
check.
his modifier?
Hold on.
Because he only ever got like a DC of 10, but he passed his concentration every single time. Like he was taking little bits of damage, and little bits of damage, and little bits of
Mhm.
I
damage.
mean, on my one, if he hadn't been shielded
And
by Nicole, he would have 100% failed it.
Oh yeah.
He passed every single time.
Yeah, that's because
Yeah,
the-
that was
the-
bullshit. Actually,
the
that
DC
was
was
so
low.
stupid.
I was so mad, dude. I was like, why? Like,
It's the benefit of my class. It's like the main.
fuck
It's like
your
on the.
class.
It's one of the greatest things about the Ancestral Guardian, man.
Did you say Ancestral Guardian?
Ancestral Guardian.
His con
Yeah, the incest
modifier is a plus
Ancestral
4.
Guardian, K Kona,
Is a
Alabama.
plus 4. So he would only
That's
have
not
to.
even bad.
No, he would have only have to roll 6 to make a DC
6,
10
yeah.
concentration
That's rough,
save.
man. That was tough.
Yeah, it's
Because I was like every round I was sweating. Like I was using fucking whatever the shitty fuck you spell is, doing like 4 damage and just praying it would break his concentration.
I mean, your
man.
cutting word saved my life.
Yeah.
It did.
Cutting
Like-
words and inspiration dice
Yeah,
like
man.
both. It's
Rayson
kinda
Miller,
wild.
10th level human blood hunter.
Ah.
I was only 10th level. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
I thought
three
he was
people.
like-
Because you were gonna you were fighting 3 10th level things, I didn't want him to be super OP. You know, like
Yeah.
If we're fighting just him,
Wait, was he 10th level when I like tried to kill him as Ash?
Yeah, roundabouts.
I
What
was just
level
curious,
was,
now that I can actually know since he's dead.
Yeah.
Pricknell.
I think Pricknell's 8th, like same as the party.
Same as us, right?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like 3 10th levels.
Well,
and
we
were
leveled up
party
this
of
last
6,
session.
7.
Odin.
7, 8th No, 8 levels, because it's 6 in the party, and then Elephants are in Pricknell. So yeah, 8.
Oh, Elephant's here as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk
Sitting on
about
the roof shooting his
Soko?
gun.
I need you.
To
You
get
know,
sync.
you live in a religious, semi-religious home, or like a semi-religious family, right?
Yeah.
I need you to take every single dice that you rolled in that one on last session
Bro.
and fucking cleanse them in holy water.
All right, I'm gonna see which ones that did. Hold up.
Because
I'm
you
gonna count
got
how many didn't roll in that
so
one.
many nat
That
ones
was a
last
bad
session.
time.
It was
Yeah.
all on different dice
So
too. Like
many.
none of them were
Holy
the same
shit.
dice that rolled in that ones.
Like that was insane, bro.
Yeah, it was pretty.
So bad.
That was so bad. Holy
So bad.
shit.
Koiba's was one of the ones that didn't actually roll in that one. I think.
I'm
Hey,
still,
guys.
Koiba's
dude,
was the
I'm,
only dice that didn't.
I'm
Actually.
still fucking thrilled I rolled a natural 20 on that deception check. Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't make this shit up.
Yeah, Koiba's dice.
Whatever's in his
Same as
throat.
dice.
It's giving him a Scottish accent.
So like the way I do, because obviously Rayson, Miren, and Dionora have more health than they should have, because if they don't, then it's super easy for them to just die. They'll die and run around.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, you whoopsie boo. So I buff their health, but all the rest of their stuff is just whatever they get
Normal
for
level.
being, the only thing I buff. So I make the character and then I buff their health to be adequate to face a party of your size and your strength and
Which
stuff.
is what most people do with like monsters.
So
and
when,
stuff.
when you like buff health, do you like look up a CR guide of like?
No,
what average
I look at
advance rating?
the average damage
Right. Yeah.
each one of you does per round, and I take an average from that. And I'm like, okay, on average, the party can do this amount of damage in one round if they hit the same character. So like I add it all up, and I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, okay. So in order for the fight to actually last several rounds, I'll need X amount of people with X amount of times that amount of health, and that's kind of how I do it.
So we just need to like start focus firing. Like this is an RTS game, dude. And
Not
just-
necessarily, because like
my
that
God,
can
Sassy.
lead to us being in positions where like we focus someone and then another like enemy just fucks us over because we're not like firing on them
Yeah.
and they just get time to prepare. Like,
Yeah.
They aren't being held to the ground with a giant fist or.
Exactly.
mate, it's so nice to have someone else be fucking he just laughed at and not fucking the cool, because man, the cool gets hit with like all that shit constantly.
It's because your wisdom saves are so low, bro. Like you
They're
should.
not even that bad anymore.
And it's like,
I can
no,
plus
but it's
3.
but it's like back then when you were
back
the
then.
one that always got bullied was like
Yeah, I got bullied. so
the
that's
people
just-
casting the spells know
Yeah.
that's a barbarian. He's not going to be very wise, so he's going to have a tough time with his spell. So they target you specifically because they know.
Which is funny because like Thomas doesn't
Yeah.
actually have that bad of a wisdom. I don't think. Or do you?
10. Octanus or wisdom is
Yeah,
10.
it's pretty average.
Her
So-
wisdom's worse than mine.
Like
Yeah,
it's
he
plus
has better
0.
wisdom.
I know Kassarin's wisdom was shit too. I know she doesn't innate
I don't
highest
know.
one.
Hey man, it's charisma.
I think I
saves
have a
that.
plus
Because
one.
Laura always complained every
Maybe
time she
plus
had to make a
zero.
wisdom saving throw with Kassarin.
Wisdom
She's
is like
"Oh,
a
I'm not
stat that I
true."
would want to be high. In fact, I don't know.
For
Who-
saving throws,
what,
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
what,
my
what
wisdom's
class
10.
uses wisdom as a?
Cleric.
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 Druid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to play. I might have to play a druid sometime, dude. I don't know.
Druids are cool.
Wisdom's kind of
Clerics are
lit.
pretty sick too. If you do like I really like the Tempest or Grave Clerics personally. Big fan.
This is where Duke's like, okay. No,
Yeah, cool, man.
I know it's going over Duke's head. But
No
There,
idea
there was
what
a
he
point.
means.
There was a point in time when we were looking at the bards where there's I think it was an Unearthed Arcana college called the College of Glamour. I think
yeah.
where like it had abilities that it was like mantle of something that literally made people like worship you as an idol.
Yeah, it was so dumb.
And I was so close to just being like, bruh, imagine if he was just the biggest narcissist. Like,
I thought.
I don't think it was Unearthed Arcana. I think it was like,
Yeah, I think it's like Xanathar's or something.
yeah, Xanathar's got everything or something like that. Yeah,
I was
it's
say,
not.
like it's definitely not UA because the new
Yeah.
UA bard just came out.
Ooh, that might be interesting to look at.
Pretty sure.
So yeah, we talked about Duke being back. Talked about potential future stuff. You guys have anything that you're like, you know, over the past month of D&D, you were like, oh, so and so.
I mean, like the fucking Trim's parents were badass.
Fucking Trim's parents.
I love them.
Trim's
Both
parents
in
is
that,
so
but, like
funny.
in character, the cool love them, and like out of character, I love them as well.
I
Just,
think
like,
they're
they're just
impossible
cool.
not to
Just
love them,
badass.
like in character or out.
Badass
You know what I mean?
guys.
They're just like those cool
And, like,
parents that you like
yeah.
meet up with, and you're like, dude, you have fucking cool parents, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they used to do the same thing you guys do now, is just go around and fucking be adventurers and stuff. Like, that's what they did.
I want to
In
have a
character,
point.
in character, Ectonus thought they were kind of dickheads towards Trim.
No, like
At least her dad. That was just like in character,
no,
that was
that's not. But
out
that's not the
character,
case though. That's like Bran had the same thing. Like, oh, they're like Abran had that like white knight moment of like, oh, they're bullying a small child for being different. I need to protect her, which is very true to Gypsy's personal character as well.
Oh.
But it was like, that's not how this was meant at all. It was like, for years Trim has denied or like not,
Yeah.
you know, really cared for the family business, if you will, and all of a sudden she
Yeah.
does, and that's why her dad was like, finally.
It was the comment,
she's a strong heart after all, kind of thing, you know? Like, and that's nothing to do with like her being a disappointment beforehand, but it's just like finally she's into the family business, and that's why he was so like vocal about it.
I kind of over-exaggerated. It was the specific comment of, I was starting to question if you were my own daughter or not.
See, that was
hit
just
a bit too.
okay, but that was
it
just a
hit too
joke.
close
Like,
to home
that's
to
just a
Ectonus.
sense of humor,
Yeah,
you know?
I know, but like Ectonus, for her, it just hit too close to home because that whole thing in the Nightmare Plane
Daddy issues.
still is.
Okay.
Yeah, she's still not over it.
Is it bad that I want to hire them to be like personal guard for the guild hall?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great though.
Give Trim a break, dude.
Hiya, Dolgrim. Hiya,
Yes,
Dolgrim.
dude, if I ever meet Dolgrim, 100%.
I mean, you guys are gonna have to
We need to do
hire
that.
some guards.
We've
Yeah.
been told.
I know.
We've been told multiple times we need to hire people, and we've just gone.
Higher gods.
Yeah, we will.
sure.
Yeah,
but
we'll
we
do it.
have-
Yeah,
we
but like,
have-
cause like, you know, hire gardener, hire guards, hire, you know,
Well,
cleaner
we have
slash
to.
kitchen. Yeah, but you're not gonna be there 25/8, Soko.
She has magic. It's okay if they die.
So like next episode is gonna be the guild hall maintenance episode.
No, it's not even finished yet, but it's just like.
Yeah. It's like it's getting to that point where it's like okay.
And I guess
you're thinking
Matthias
about
needs a
this.
bedroom now as well.
It's coming
Forehead.
Heck yeah, bro.
I mean, yeah, no,
And we need a stage in the.
There's 10 bedrooms.
hall.
There's 10 bedrooms, so it should be enough.
Like besides ours or counting ours?
Counting yours as well.
So I'm trying to think. Okay, so there's 6 of us. Oh, 5 of us. I guess.
10 isn't much of a
That are
guild.
in
Oh, I
there.
guess that.
Well,
Well, I mean,
it's like it's for them. It's like
And we got
their
Ecton's
personal.
well, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
like
if it was like a
parents and
guild,
Johnny.
then the 10 bedrooms wouldn't even be personal, right? If it had 10 rooms, it would be
Yeah.
for whoever's in the city at the
No,
time.
no,
and
but
needs
it's
a
not.
room.
It's like it's dubbed a guild hall, but it's for the Heroes of Exile. It's their like.
Right. Okay.
Oh, we need to come up with a symbol still too. We haven't done that.
Yep.
We'll have a
I've been
session
trying to
where we
think
do
of
that.
ideas.
We'll have a
Two
session.
shields side by side with a sword coming up.
For fuck's sake.
Fuck that.
Fuck's sake, Duke. 2 round
Fuck
shields,
that,
yeah.
Duke.
Two
I get
round
what you're
shields,
doing.
yeah.
2 round shields and a
A
sword.
broadsword, yeah.
Why do they do round shields?
Because they're balls.
I know.
See this.
I know,
dude,
bro.
it's
You
just a
got
joke.
whooshed. It was a joke, bro.
R/whoosh.
Get in the sink.
Oh fuck.
Did you say r/kitchen sink?
No.
What?
That's what Duke just said.
No,
I said
Bell
get
said
in the
r/Ruth, and then
Oh.
Duke said get in the
Get in the
I
sink.
heard r/kitchen sink. I was like, what?
Oh fuck, that's funny.
You just blended 2 comments from 2 different people.
R/central
We're
vibe.
basically the same person.
r/central back. All right. I'm thinking.
Okay, so
Yes.
I mean, so basically, it's just like a fucking mansion that we live in.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Basically.
Basically.
With like specialty things that people ask for, like I have my fucking little tinkering lab.
Yeah, you're
With the
pulling
big
you're
ass
you're,
safe.
you're pulling a full person. I love it.
It's kind of lame, bro.
Fuck off.
Well, okay, there is a guild of some kind, right? Caldwell's Hunters or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't talk to them though.
Yeah, we don't talk to them. We don't
We don't
Like
associate with them.
The party is convinced that the entire guild is corrupted and not just the factions that were exposed to racing.
Okay, never mind then.
There's enough.
I guess I'll just spend most of my time at the Bard's
You're gonna
College.
get all the hate too. Don't worry about it. Like
There's
as soon as we find out, it's gonna go bad.
There's enough shifty shit with Color Hunters when the cool's like, nah, I'm good.
Well, if someone
Just
does one
like
thing
our
to us,
immediate
we're just, like,
reaction
against
to
it.
just like our immediate reaction to one of the archmages is in the cult was
Fuck
we
all
can't trust any of the archmages anymore.
Yeah.
I have
No,
that.
I trust them.
I have that fucking like plot arc in case you were wanting to figure out who this betrayer is, like worked out, and like the first like few mission like steps into that.
There's no way it's Brassbend, obviously. Like a guy called Brassbend can't be a bad guy. Let's be real.
And
Yeah, there's a couple of people who.
it's gonna be lit.
Stuff.
Like basically,
Out of the way.
if you were to want to aid in finding out who the betrayer is and being Brassband being the number one suspect right now, the first step would be you're gonna have to infiltrate the Archmage Tower and go through his personal room there and his mansion in Kalzir.
Oh, both of those things do not end well for us. But like,
Just
in
walk,
the sense-
just walk in and go. Are you bad?
You can do some proper detective stuff. It's gonna be lit.
I mean, like, we have to try and do it without being on their tail, because then, you know.
Yeah.
like-
So that's one of the many things
wanna
that you
give the
could
game
choose to pursue next. But there's like a lot more stuff, and I'm excited to see.
We could also just be airship
I'm
pirates.
excited to see. Shut the fuck up, Soko.
Can we
It'd
be
be
airship
so
pirates?
cool.
Like, look.
No one
I mean,
knows
we
how to
own-
drive an airship.
We
Fly
own
an
it.
airship.
I mean,
Why do I
own
think
it.
Naronk did?
We
I
own
did
an
what?
airship.
Okay, Narank, you retire from the Years of Exile to study airship flying
Yes.
for 250 in-game days, because that's how long it takes to learn a proficiency, and then you get to be an airship pirate.
Why don't we just find
Yes,
someone who can
we're
fly a
doing
fucking
this.
airship?
We have a career.
You have a crew that you hired.
Yeah, we
Like,
have a
Yeah,
crew.
You have a
literally
crew
hired a crew
on the
to fly us
payroll.
around for a month.
Then why are we not airship pirates right now? What the fuck, bro?
Because responsibilities.
Dude, because I
we
know
can
that
do.
no one
we
else
can
will
be
agree.
responsible from a fucking airship. All right.
We can be responsible
Ekta-
from above.
I mean, Atanas can't. 'Cause she's fucking terrified of
So
heights.
let's go airship to the Goodwood.
Yeah,
King
she
that's
hates
floating
it.
out there.
She's like, nah. Tana's hates heights.
Duke
Like
hears the word
Mr. T.
kingdom and is like, ugh.
Like Mr. T.
No, but like,
Yeah.
there's just
Why
so
would
much
the idiot
stuff
fly
that you
over?
guys like. Next session is gonna be first. You're gonna have to decide what the fuck to do with your prisoner, right? And that
Oh, but does he have fingernails? Smile.
Hondo.
Fucking not gonna.
And then after that, it's
We need
like
pliers and salt.
after that, it's gonna be like,
I got
where do
balls.
you want to go? Because like, I'm just excited for you to figure out like.
Dude, it's gonna be an RP heavy session.
It's gonna be very very RP heavy and very little to no combat. So it's gonna be cool.
I'm gonna start a fight at a bar just to get some combat.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, unless you want to fucking 1v1 the bard. Like, okay, listen,
Yeah, and his flute's broke. So what's his?
Just a,
I hope he has a component broke.
his dick,
a
He
flute
has
off.
his skin
Yeah, yeah.
flute.
his skin flute.
His magic. flute.
Could
Yeah,
singing be
tomorrow-
a spellcasting focus? That's a weird.
I don't know. Spellcasting focus has to be an
guess it's an
enchant.
item.
Has to be an enchanted item.
What if you have enchanted vocal cords?
It's not how that works.
Give one of
What
those
if at
fucking.
birth they brand you?
Why not?
Because I say so.
Could a kazoo be a spellcasting focus?
Yes.
Because I'm the DM. That's why.
Oh, he got the shot, chat.
right.
He did the line. Whoa.
Listen, I realized I had the shirt on and I couldn't not. All right, shut up.
So okay. Kazoo spellcasting focus. God, I could just get a kazoo in real life.
Oh God.
Do it.
Oh God.
That wouldn't make Dungeon Select hell for anyone.
Yeah.
Guys,
Dungeon Select, aka Cedric 33 blasts a kazoo for 45 minutes.
Fuck's sake.
I'm kind of okay with it though.
I'm really
Shut
not.
up.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
I feel like
cunt.
Duke would get tired of it before I would.
No, Duke's enough of a meme lord where like, I know he's
I would just spend the whole session with the kazoo in my
Duke-
mouth.
Duke
I
is
wouldn't.
That's
I wouldn't talk.
Duke is enough of a walking shitpost to like.
Yeah, like he would, bro.
To like just do it.
He don't give a fuck.
And then rocks fall.
I'm gonna
Fuck's
teach someone an instrument. I'm gonna teach someone an instrument.
I mean,
Oh,
like
yeah.
some people might already know instruments, dickhead.
I'll teach you.
Oh, I know how to play
Like
ocarina
me.
with my lizard lips.
Yeah, my lizard.
Xana still needs to get her pepper box from Elevantir too.
Oh my
Yeah.
God,
I do.
She still
Who
hasn't got
does
it.
I
anyone
get it
not know
back.
how to play an instrument?
Because he confiscated it.
I'm pretty sure Narang doesn't know how to play instruments.
I
I
mean,
know.
Or
You say-
and I don't
Actually,
think
do
I don't
say
think
Nicole-
I don't think
Nicole
Abram
knows
does
how
either.
to play it, just not very well. Like -1 to performance checks, boys. Ooh.
I don't
Okay.
know. I mean, I'll have like literally +0 to anything I do with it.
I have a
but-
plus 24 to
do I?
performance when I'm playing.
I mean, no,
Malaya.
because it will be under 2 proficiencies.
Matthias.
So
A
no,
plus
it's not just like, I don't
24,
think I do,
bro.
but-
A plus
Yeah, I
24.
don't. I have. I can use alchemist supplies now that I still haven't
So
really done
basically,
anything with.
compares between Nat1 and we.
I have
Yeah.
+4.
I mean, you don't even
One
have
of
One of
these
these
you
days,
don't
one of these
even
days,
have
I'm gonna hit
alchemist
you guys
supplies.
with it. Yeah, I just rolled a 42.
I know. I have proficiency
on
in alchemist
performance,
supplies.
and you're gonna be
Yeah.
like,
I need to go get some.
I was gonna say, but for that to work, you have to have alchemy
Yeah, you have to
supplies.
have it, yeah, know what I mean?
Like I can be proficient in blacksmithing, but I don't have a hammer and a hand tool nearby. I'm shit out of luck, you know.
Dude,
like,
don't you have a pocket hammer and anvil?
yeah, dude, my cock.
dude, the last
I was
episode
just
of
the
Critical
hand-
Role I watched,
Very well
The hammer.
It's
not
the
not
hand-
try to do like chemistry or something in the
Yes.
tavern
Yes.
and fucking melted the floor.
I mean, Soko has
Yeah.
fucking exploded.
Dude, I mean, I
multiple
use
rooms.
explosives all the time in buildings.
Yeah, Soko has blown up
You built up the
people's.
fucking Freddy's
I put
tower.
myself up.
You built
Yeah,
Freddy's
you
fucking
did.
tower.
Yeah. And I think the dumbest thing I've seen Soko do to date
Fucking airship, man.
was, yeah, that too, was in a wobbly cart, trying to craft a grenade.
Fuck.
Like,
that
how
was
dumb
bad.
are
It was
you?
like it was
That
a
was-
brand new toy. I had
That
to
was
do it.
instant. Like, you didn't have to. Oh my god! Imagine
They
you
did it.
exploded it and just you fucking like you killed someone. Just like.
Imagine. And like in that same road, you encountered the fucking goblin that hustled you, so serves you right, idiot.
Dude, fuck that goblin, man.
And you specifically,
Man, you've missed it so many
because you asked so many times about it, like you've seen him a handful of times without
man,
realizing.
yeah, I know.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, which is why it's funny to me, because I'm like, you've even
Dude, I swear,
talked,
that goblin's a changeling or some shit.
you've even talked to them.
What?
No.
In goblin form or a different?
Not in goblin form, no.
It's Matthias Papega.
It could be anyone.
It physically can be actually, because you can't. Goblins are small, are small, not medium sized.
Oh, they are.
Get fucked, idiot.
So you can't.
Okay.
It's
Dorks.
Trim. Trim is the goblin.
No, that's the same thing. Can't. Yeah. Oh, Trim is actually changeling. Exposed, Laura. Not here to defend yourself, so it's
That's
true.
why she never uses her halfling luck, is because she doesn't get it.
Dude, are you okay, Duke? Are you?
Yeah, I just hit the wall.
Okay. Fuck's sake.
I don't know, man.
Dude, if I ever find that goblin, like, I'm kind of scared of what I'll do.
Hey man, I know a big old city of goblins we can go to at some point.
Yeah, but they're not that goblin. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's what I'm like. That's what I'm
They
doing
can be.
now. Is like looking at your backstories, and I'm like, okay, Nicole's had a backstory thing, but he has some other unresolved business.
It's fine.
Belle
We're
has
not
kind of
playing
had
both.
2 backstory things happen, so Belle's kind of off the hook for now.
Ah.
But like Abran has had
I
nothing.
haven't had any backstory stuff happen.
I've had nothing either. It's great.
Your
I mean-
backstory is lit, actually.
I mean,
though.
It actually is, but like, I'm
Uh,
kind of glad we haven't gotten there.
yeah.
And I kind of hope we
I mean-
never do,
I mean-
so I,
I mean,
never have to deal with it.
I mean, Soko, there's like, it's such a weird thing. You're pushing us to go to the Feywild has so made me not want to fucking go there. In character, like
That's
I can't
because
go.
Naronk
I
is
just,
fucking like Naronk just can't
shitty
be.
dumb, dude.
Just
He
Naronk
does it
just
dumb.
can't talk to the party apparently that has saved his life many a times that
He's not a
trusts
good
each
talker.
other.
Like, we've established
hey,
this in general.
I have some stuff that I want to do in the Feywild, but it's personal. Y'all want to come with? And
Yeah,
9 out
he's-
of 10
if
times the party will be like, yeah, sure, dude.
If he was just frank
Like-
about it, it'd be good. But he's like, or we could just go to the Feywild.
Yeah,
Like,
you
why?
make it so hard for
I mean,
yourself.
he's
Don't
spent
worry
like
about it, we just-
130-ish years doing
just-
shady shit.
Yeah, but like, hear me out, right? Hear me out. We've been really open as characters, and then suddenly you, like hard close yourself off. It's like,
Yeah.
man, I was so close when we were in that cave fighting to tell you to go just fuck off to the Feywild if you want to go so bad. That like I was like, ooh, I had to hold my tongue hard because like I want to say it, but it's not good. Like this is gonna be like some fucked up shit. So I'm like, if you continue to push it, I was like, It's gonna be said.
But now is as good a time as any to be
Oh
like,
yeah, I mean like.
Yeah.
I don't
hey
know.
y'all, gather round.
I mean like.
I got some unresolved business in the Feywild.
If he doesn't like mention it, then the cool probably will mention to him like, yo, you want Feywild?
Couple
Plus-
varmints out that way.
Plus,
Don't be wrong.
Soko, like, I have everyone mute constantly when we talk about me and Soko have some like heart-to-hearts in the sessions, and that's also a big part of the reason why he wants to go to the Feywild. So like, I'm excited for you all to like find out what that's all about.
I just
Because
like-
like,
And then, okay, me personally, I'm also kind of freaking out about those werebeasts, because I know that we're gonna have to do some fucked shit to like make up for that. You know?
yeah, you still have
And, like, I'm scared
yeah,
of
you
what
made a
we're gonna
deal.
have to do to make up for that because of fucking Freddy, who I'm gonna kill as soon as I see the next time I meet him.
No,
Because
you're
he
not.
sets up with his big debt. I mean, I'm not gonna kill him, but I'm definitely gonna punch him in the face.
That's fair.
Or at least try. I don't, you know, I don't know what's gonna be around, so. But like, he leaves us with this big debt because he busts a tree down in the middle of the Feywild. and
Gonna
then
have to
just
go to
fucks
the
off.
Goodwin Kingdom first, bud.
Oh, we'll get there.
Imagine if
Goodwin
Ektanis found another one of those gems and touched it again, and everyone's like, for fuck's sake, not again!
Dude, if
Yo, can I
if
find
touch
I
one
find
of those
another?
gems, I'm literally gonna tell you to fuck off and just go off on your own and deal
Yo,
with it.
can I find another artifact of the Sun Ring that like does more damage?
You're already so OP for level 8 characters, so
I know,
like,
right?
enjoy what you have because you're not getting an
Oh,
upgrade
I know.
anytime soon.
Hey man, when I lose that
Gear
Chromosome,
wise, that is.
Yeah,
Hey, man,
once you
when-
lose that
when I
chromosphere,
lose
dude,
that,
it's
when
gonna
like someone Chromosome loses that fucking Chromosome, I'm gonna be so upset. I'm gonna be so sad. Just lose it because it's so good. I'm just like, hey man, but at least I can.
What I'm also excited about is that like everyone has like some
Oh, we do.
tie-ins that could potentially cause them to multi-class later on in the campaign, which is pretty cool. Because like Nicole is very pro Chromatus now, who is a god, so that could be his like route to becoming a paladin, perhaps, and then
or cleric.
or cleric.
Or Warlock. Let's do Warlock, boys.
And then there's Artanis, who is pushing to like learn how to fire guns, maybe to potentially later on multi-class and gunslinger. And then there's Naronk, who's already multi-classed, and due to his multi-classing,
Has had things happen.
has had things happen that you guys don't know about. And then, you know, Matisse is new, so he doesn't count.
Oh, okay. All right, bro. I am a devout follower of a god. I could easily be a
Milil.
paladin, right?
Yeah, but like, bards are kind of like, for Milil, bards are paladins in a way, you know? So it's like, doesn't really
I
make
mean,
sense.
what sort of shit do paladins do?
I mean,
Same sort of thing that you're doing.
Don't they also have a charisma spellcasting modifier?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
Charisma spell.
Yes.
Bro, I would be a big brain paladin. Holy
You would,
fuck.
yeah.
Dude, imagine those smites.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Literally smiting with music in the name of Milil actually sounds kind of fire. Like, that actually sounds kind of fire.
This is Duke's backup character. It's literally Matthias, but
Yeah.
paladin.
But a paladin,
For-
but still a bard.
For Duke, for you, I already have like 2 potential backstory plot lines that when the time
I'm curious if
comes.
Matthias wants to stick around.
When
Like,
the
we don't
when
know
the
if
time
Matthias wants to
comes,
stay
if you're
around with us.
still if you're still around and you're still
I'm
having fun,
scared now because, like,
like ideas.
everyone has their characters toyed with,
yeah,
and now like I actually have.
a
I
backstory.
mean, there was a small little thing in Keldalar where we went to Morningstar and like all this other shit, but it like I don't know. I feel like
It wasn't like big fit teaser.
Matthias's history is much more interesting.
100%.
You know, not
Yeah.
just like
City God.
like the man's been around and he's seen, well, he hasn't really seen that much shit, but
I mean,
there was like a fucking Tsarist revolution out there,
it's
you know.
been
brutal. It's
brutal.
like Battleship Potemkin.
Oh my god, I just thought of a way that we could actually potentially get Dilgrim to actually like man the walls of our guild hall.
Fuck.
Money.
Well,
Actually,
besides that, like we have to figure out who he is first, and I think I have an idea.
he's a champion of
That
the
would
arena,
fit
bro.
My character.
Come on
So
now.
it's perfect.
What are you talking about? Hold on.
Don't worry about it.
He's like, I think I
I'm gonna get
know
Dilgrim
how to get Dolgrim in a
as
guild
my
hall.
slave.
Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Who's gonna
Wait
win
a
Slave
minute.
Dolgrim? The man's a
Slave
fucking...
trade. I'll have you know, slave trade is illegal in the Empire.
Yo.
Only if
We
you
can
get
run an
caught.
underground ring. We have the perfect cover. We're like the heroes that have an underground slave.
Yeah, but Dolgrim
I mean,
is
if
also.
you go-
But
okay.
Dolgrim is also a hero. Like he's
Yeah,
a
say
fucking gold
there's
blade.
some kind of combat arena in any city that we go to. In character, we're like, yo, we need guards to the guild hall. Maybe we should go to the arena. Boom, Dolgrim's there kicking ass because that's what
True.
we do. Easy peasy.
I mean,
And
I mean,
then-
if you are down to have Dolgrim
Goes
commit to
over.
that, and whenever the party does go to the guild hall, you'll have to double up every once in a while because they'll talk to Dolgrim as well. Like if that's something you want to do and you want to chase after, I'm not gonna stop you, right? Like fucking go for
I
it.
mean, it just seems like a natural thing. We need guards to the guild hall. Dolgrim kicks
I
ass
mean,
and has been a
Nicole
guard
does
most of his
outfill
life.
up that rumble in the arena, and
Yeah, it's true.
fucking
Thermagar Arena or
no, not Thermagar,
Hamadorn.
Hammerdon, yeah.
Yeah, I do still have that rumble in the jungle.
Dude, I want to go
Oh,
gamble on some arena fights.
Dude, we should, like, if Nicole fights in the arena, we should
Straight up
make
against the big
Dolgrim
officers.
like one level higher than Nicole, and then have them fight. That would be pretty cool.
yeah, like
What level higher?
there's actually
Nicole's not
because they
great.
went to Hammerdon and they've met Philip as well, and
And then we were told that the champion of the arena was not there.
yeah, champion of the arena is not present at the moment.
Yeah.
But if he ever is and you want to come challenge him, be my
Maybe
guest.
that's what
You
we
know,
go do. To be honest, like that sounds like a fucking good time.
little 1v1 in
Well,
the arena of
Nicole
Hammerdon.
gets his ass kicked because, it's a fucking
Because
trick.
you know the off-stream
Dolgrim's not that great. Although he does have like a
off-stream,
fucking godlike sword already.
the off-stream campaign
Never got like. Great.
had a pretty big like plot line in Hammerdon, and now that that's been dealt with, there's like a mural that depicts
I mean, they've seen us, yeah.
the heroes of exile fighting in Hammerdon against demons, and Philip now owns the arena since the foreman got his heart torn out by a Rakshasa. So
Hell yeah, dude.
yeah, like on the off-stream campaign, like the big villain was a Rakshasa, which is really fun.
Dude,
Really
if
fun
we
to play.
ever see fucking Nigel.
I can't remember his name.
Nigel.
Nigel.
I mean, I've been thinking like I could bring him.
I mean, it would.
I
it
could
would
bring
make
him into,
sense, like for us
yeah.
to kind of hear about that kind of a thing. You know?
I could bring him in. Like that could be like a cool, you know, non-cult related plot line for you guys to kind of like go after as well.
Hey, man,
The
we've
thing,
got-
like,
Yo,
Dolgrim
I'll
was.
find that gold elemental.
Plus, I
dude.
have a lot of shit written down about that plot
Dolgrim
Dolgrim
already.
has
that
some
gold
bonds,
elemental.
bro. Like, he was in the service of the Empress. And pretty much, like, when that was through, he would return to Morningstar. So,
Can't return to Morningstar if it doesn't exist, bro.
Morningstar still exists, right?
Yes. As far as we know. As long
Yeah,
as it's overrun by orcs.
In that case, he's just depressed. I mean, that would be a fucking character arc right there. If Morningstar's fucking, like, flattened, bro, Dolgrim's gonna be at the arena daily off his tits. And just, like, killing shit.
Yeah, man. Imagine, you say you were bringing Dolgrim back, and I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, this has happened. Morningstar gone. Your dad's head's on a pike. Orcs are now there. Smile. I wouldn't, guys. I wouldn't do that.
You 100% would, you monster.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
I mean, then I would be
Dragon
compelled
Ball
to
Z,
play
you know what I
Dolgrim,
mean?
but it would be
There's
like
been dragon
alcoholic,
Alcoholic.
depressed Dolgrim.
Yeah. No, like Dolgrim is a fun character, but you know, it's not quite Gen, is it?
No. In substance, no.
Yeah,
He's a
no.
fun guy, though.
Dolgrim is fun, absolutely.
Mushroom?
He dabbed in combat, like as a
Oh,
bonus
but you
action.
beat- Yeah. While
a
fighting
bonus-
in the arena.
While fighting in the arena, as a bonus action, he was like, I like to dab. So. that was-
Dude, he's a savage in that arena, bro. Shout out
He
Revan
was.
as well.
Dude, that
yeah,
made so
like I
much
want to
money in
bring
the arena before,
Option
dude.
for the campaign at some point and play Revan. It'd be fun. Because Revan is a really okay. Like now the cat's out of the bag, Revan was not as good of a guy as he portrayed to be in the party. Like he had a serious ulterior motive that he was gonna use the party for, like subconsciously, like not like you wouldn't be aware that what you're doing is bad, and like there's a lot of shit that me and Opti had planned or like had ideas for.
Well, he was a tiefling, what, wizard?
Wizard, yeah. But his story was like he got raised and educated in like an institution dedicated to Trifle the Trickster God.
Oh god.
So like he
I
wasn't.
remember that whole episode of the fucking creepy spooky house.
That was a good session.
That was crazy.
That was a really good
love
session.
that.
Yeah.
Wait, what archetype is he?
Speaking of,
I don't remember.
hey man, we love
Me and Koiba
Trickster
just
God.
sat like,
Whenever, we love Trickster Gods 'cause that he's never done anything wrong. Looks at.
Like Trifle's literally the Loki of.
I would say looks at the monstrosity he's created that we have to fucking deal with now.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's true. You got a little
nothing wrong
lore.
with some
You got a
tricks.
little lore bomb, huh? About Trifle. It's true. I forgot about
I know
that.
about Trife. Yeah, I know what the fuck.
Was
he
it
did.
was it
Wait,
just
what?
you or the others as well?
I mean, I think everyone was witness
Yeah.
to it, but I
Witness to
got
what?
Trifle,
Trife is the reason why Chromatus exists, dude.
not Chromatus, Raskill.
That's what I meant.
Trifle,
He
Trifle.
was just like, haha, fuck you
In
guys.
his younger years when he really shortly after he achieved godhood, he assisted the first version of what would be the cult of Raskill, which were back then not as many, but and very lich-like individuals, and they created Raskill. Raskill is not a dragon that just happens to be all colors. Like, Raskill is a proper monstrosity created by a god and undead force.
Definitely still have notes on it somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I could almost find my notes for it, but
Which is why, you know, he doesn't just fly around. He has to be summoned, is because he's not he's not actually a normal dragon as you would, you know, or technically, like, he's still a dragon, but he has just a lot of like twists and memes about him, which also makes him more powerful and blah blah blah. I have Chromatus, or not Chromatus. I have Raskill completely like. I have a stat block ready and everything. Like, I have that set up. Like, that fight, if that fight ever comes to be, because there's still a chance that you could stop the summoning from ever happening. But if that fight comes to be, dude.
What kind of damage is his breath weapon?
we'll find out.
Rainbow.
I'm just curious. If it's like, I wonder if it's like a
Probably
chromatic orb kind of thing where you like roll
could
for
choose.
it.
Oh yeah, you can choose probably.
You can choose.
It's like it's what's it called?
Skittles, mate.
Skittles. Fuck off.
He just fucking
Taste
opens
the
his
rainbow.
mouth and Skittles just gush out,
Feel
bro.
weird.
All right.
Projectile force.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited to see where the party goes next.
I hope it's low key, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's low key. It's been some intense.
Yeah, and
I mean, I just got in, and there's been some real intense drama.
yeah,
so.
that's why. Like, that's the reason why you came in, was because they needed every help that they could get,
Yeah.
and there was a reason. Like, they really did need any help that they could get.
Us need
So,
help.
like, I mean, that's something that, you know, you could push for, right? Tomorrow, I'll be like, listen, guys, you guys are a cool bunch, and if you need my help, you know, I think I've proven myself, but can we go somewhere a little less intense than what just happened? Like, that could be your, like, you can push for that, right?
My diarrhea-stained britches need a fucking.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Need a
like, I'm
break.
excited to see where you guys decide on going. It's gonna be fucking sick, regardless, and
Something a little more pedestrian, hopefully.
whichever plot arc you decide to go into over the next few weeks, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really good. So whether that's gonna be some backstory or just traveling around doing some side quests, just some less intense, just some good old mercenarying,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that.
A little bit of bonding, a little bit of story time around the campfire in the tiny hut.
Yeah. It's gonna be fucking good, bro. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
How much creative freedom are you gonna give me a tiny hut?
As long as to its score, it's still the same spell.
I mean, like, okay, it has a little hole in the roof, so we can put a campfire in without dying.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, like, it's
Like an
magically
igloo.
there. I mean, it's magically there anyway, so you don't die if you put a campfire in it.
True.
Yeah, but
magic.
campfire's cozy, Koiba.
But it's
No.
magic, so it doesn't matter.
Warm and dry
Just
and
mimic
shiny. You don't
shit.
need campfire.
No,
That's
no,
what
no,
I'm
he
saying.
no, he means you can put a campfire in there without, you know, like damaging or whatever.
Oh, it's not gonna fill with smoke and we all get carbon monoxide poisoning.
No, it's magic, so it doesn't fucking do that shit anyway. Like, what are you talking about? It's...
All right, Quag.
fucking do it.
Quig.
But yeah, like
Quig.
stuff like that. Like it's the same that we did with
Well, you wouldn't let me decorate it, so.
no, because that's just like very specific. But like I'll give you stuff like that. Sure, why not for flavor? But at the end of the day, there's a reason it's the basic bitch version of Magnificent Mansion.
Yeah, but like
Magnificent Mansion is when you can go insane.
Tiny hut. Come on.
Yeah,
It's not. It's gonna be one room, but it would be cool if there could be like carpets on the walls or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's the basic bitch version of Magnificent Mansion. Yeah, Magnificent Mansion is a fucking magnificent mansion, bro. Tiny hut is still just one room. It's a tiny hut. But the spell description is so lame. It's just like a bubble, and that's it.
A bubble.
Dry, warm bubble, and that's it. Oh, it's opaque from the outside. Cool. It's just a fucking, you know?
It's what?
It's a.
Yeah, got it.
I'm from the outside. It's gonna be opaque, but it's just gonna be
I'll
like
write that down in my
white,
notes.
covered in emoji shit.
I hate you. Fuck. I think unless there's any more questions, that'll be where we call it for today.
Yeah, should we go to the discotheque?
The discotheque.
Discotheque?
Disco.
Disco.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my god. Why am I here?
Tomorrow, Dungeon Select, same time. See you there.
Yeah.
Well, it's earlier for EST America people. Back to normal time.
Yeah, it's actually normal time. True, because tonight your guys' clock.
Yeah.
What the shock?
I don't know what I'm gonna do next, honestly.
If you're planning on streaming, you know we should play a game. If you're not, then
We
you should
should
host.
Just play
You
towels.
should host Naruden.
Oh yeah, Naruto's doing charity stream. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna host on Naruden, and I'll probably just call it there, and I'll go live tomorrow. Naruden, great guy, part of my community since literally before I was that Dutch geek. He is doing
Back
a
when he was
24-hour.
Discotheque 991.
He's doing a 24-hour charity stream for Extra Life. He's got his G Fuel. He's got his Bean Boozle. He's got his hot sauce. He's playing Monster Hunter. So go show him some love. And I'll see you tomorrow for the Call of Duty campaign and then Dungeon Select.
Hey.
Are your cutscenes not lagging?
We'll find out. Smile.
Oh, okay.
Have a good one, guys. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.